Hey gamers, Rick here with Game Trade Media. We're back. I know you guys have been watching us live this whole time on Twitch. We appreciate everybody that's in the chat and talking with us and joining us here at PAX Unplugged.
PAX Unplugged it is.
Right? I've got Ray here from Calliope Games to show us what they've got going on. Ray, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. You know that. Always. I love
always
coming
a pleasure.
in.
It's the best.
And being at PAX Unplugged, all the excitement and everybody at the booth, coming by, it's just great fun.
Yeah,
it's great fun.
And we're early into the show, so when the doors first opened and everybody kind of, that first initial wave of rush, you could just feel it, that it's going to be a great weekend.
And then, people coming by our booth, the Calliope Games booth, which is 2007, just if you want to come out and check it out. But we're giving away rubber duckies. So you come in and you play, you get a free rubber ducky. How can you go wrong with that, right?
You can't go wrong at all with that.
Yeah, and they're actually Christmas rubber duckies, right?
Glorious.
So it's really cool, actually.
So, Ray, what have you brought to show us here today?
So we have all kinds of things that we're going to talk about today. But first of all, what I want to let everybody know is that next year is our 10-year anniversary.
Nice.
Right? We're coming into the third year of the Titan series, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But 10 years of Calliope, so we're going to have a brand new logo, or just a 10-year anniversary logo that we're going to be sporting everywhere. Right? But in addition to that, we're also going to have a new version of Tsuro called Tsuro Phoenix Rising.
Tsuro Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix is Rising.
Okay, interesting.
So we'll go about a little bit of each one of those.
Okay, yeah.
But first we'll start out with the Titan series.
All right.
And I brought with me today the boxes for all three games.
Okay.
Right. But I want to show you Everyone Loves a Parade first. So Everyone Loves a Parade. This game was actually done by Mike Mulvihill.
Okay.
Right. And it's going to be a $25 spend.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. And so all this stuff that you see in it.
There's a lot here.
Yeah, there's a lot in that box for $25. Right?
And who doesn't like a parade? I know I like going to parades and standing on the side and hope they throw candy.
Yeah, exactly. But in here, you get to be the one throwing the candy. What we're doing is actually designing our floats.
Okay.
So the game will play anywhere from 2 to 6 players.
Okay.
Right. I've actually got it set up to play a 2-player game. And so in a 2-player game, you would pick one color, actually 2 colors of floats, and I would pick 2 colors of floats.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is place them in front of the crowds. Okay. Now, if you're able to place your float in front of the heaviest portion of the crowd, you're going to get more points because people actually want to see your float, right?
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Why would they not?
They wouldn't want to see my float.
No.
Now the challenge is on.
Yeah, right. All right,
so we're going to throw down.
Okay, let's do that.
No, well, we don't have enough time to actually go through the game.
Okay,
right? But I just want to show you how to play it.
All right.
Well, I'll come back and do that. I do want to do that.
We have this thing where I think you're 2 up on me and wins.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to make it 3 or 4.
Yeah. All right, so each take a couple floats and put them out on the crowd.
Everybody gets a float,
okay.
Right? First player token, which is really nice. And so the first player will go to the warehouse first, and these are the decorations that they're going to pick to actually build their float with. Okay. Down on the bottom of the decoration cards are these little icons that allow you to manipulate the dice that are actually on the crowd cards.
Okay.
So what you want to do is, at the beginning of the game, everybody's going to be dealt an order card. So in this particular case, you'll have 2 order cards and I'll have 2 order cards.
Okay.
So the order cards would go from 1 to 8.
All right.
Now, the order card number 1 has no ability on it, right?
Okay.
But you get to choose which crowd you want to go to first, right?
All right.
Order number 8, right? So you would go last. However, in that particular instance, now you're going to get to add a die to your crowd and draw another card from the decoration deck to actually decorate out your float with. Okay. So at the beginning of the game, though, these are all blind, so nobody knows what you have. So if it was just the 2 of us, we would both be playing 2 floats. Okay. So you would have 2 order cards and I would have 2 order cards.
Right.
But we wouldn't know what each one would actually have.
Okay.
So you don't know who gets to score first or second or last, right?
Okay.
And so you're manipulating the dice with the decorations. You're building the floats, right?
Yep.
Then you're going to take your float and actually put them in front as you claim each one of the crowd cards. And by the end of the game, what actually happens is we have this beautiful three-dimensional parade all the way up across the
Nice.
thing. So
now, I see you have these cards here that have some sort of point tracker to it?
Yeah, that's just a scoring track. So when you score your floats, each one is actually worth the number of points of the decorations that are on there. So you get to score you have the ability to score each card twice on your float. So one for color, right? So you're going to match the color die, and once for the item that you actually decorated the float with.
Okay.
So in this particular case, if I had this 4, I have the yellow 4, and I also have the flag 4. So that card would be 8 points for me on my float, right? But here, if I was working with the red flowers here, it's worth 6 points. But if this was my float, I would only get the 6 points for the flower itself. I wouldn't get the color.
Okay.
Right? But the card itself would have the option of getting me up to 12 if I was able to manipulate the dice correctly.
Okay. Very nice.
And that's it.
And is first player to 50 win, or?
Actually, it's you play 3 rounds, and after 3 rounds, whoever wins the game. Right?
Very
so
cool.
who's ever highest. So these tokens here, if you go past 50, they're actually printed with the 50 on the back side.
Perfect.
Right?
Nice.
So that's Everyone Loves a Parade, $25.
$25.
Okay?
That's
now,
beautiful. What else you got?
Mike Mulvihill. Right? Seth Johnson. Seth is a friend. Let's see. There we go.
Spy Masters.
Yes, Spy Masters. So in this game, everybody is in a control room, in a war room, right? And they have their own elite group of spies, and you're sending them all over the world.
Okay.
Right? And you're trying to accomplish different missions. And the player who accomplishes the most missions after 5 rounds is going to win the game.
Nice.
Right? Really fun.
And who's behind this one again?
This one is Mike Mulva. I'm sorry, Seth Johnson.
Seth Johnson.
Johnson. So he's the gentleman that did a bunch of the HeroClix stuff when we were over at WizKids.
Nice.
Right?
Very cool.
So then the next game is done by Rob Davio, right? And so this is Shipshape. Now, Shipshape is a game where we are all smugglers, okay?
Well, it's like you know me.
So we're not pirates. This is not
cool.
to be confused with pirates, okay?
Right.
We're smugglers. So we're running gold for the crown, right? And we're going to load up our ship with gold, right? We have to have cannons to protect the gold. And then there's some contraband, because we have to have some stuff for ourselves,
right?
Of
course.
Now, as smugglers, we don't ever kill anybody, right? And we are the captain of the ship.
Okay.
So what we're going to end up doing is we have bidding cards, which are our crew, and we're going to have them do our bidding for us.
Nice.
Right? So all of the goods that we're going to load up onto the ship are in a puzzle format.
Okay.
And it's a 3-dimensional format, and you're going to choose one of the sections of the puzzle that you want to actually add onto your ship.
Okay.
And you're going to do that by bidding, right?
Nice.
And so it's super fun, super easy to play. This game will actually be $30. Spy Master will be $40.
Okay.
All of them will be out in the first quarter of next year.
Wow, okay. That's very cool.
So last one.
Let's see what else we got. 10-year anniversary.
Right.
Calliope, 10
and
years.
that's for Calliope.
Not you.
No.
You're not 10 years old.
You know what? I act like it, though. That's good. It's absolutely good.
Working in this industry in games, you
never grow up.
Yeah, that's right. Young at heart, all the time.
All the time, right? Yeah, so 10 years for Calliope games. 15 years for our game Tsuro, right?
Wow.
So I originally released Tsuro back at WizKids in 2005.
Okay.
Right? So we're coming up to 15 years for Tsuro. So what we ended up doing, so we have Tsuro, which is the game of the path, right? And that's your flying your dragon through the world, right? Then we have Tsuro of the Seas, which is a game where you're actually trying to avoid dragons on the board on your ship going across the Mystic Seas. Well, the next logical step, right, is the skies, right? So we have Phoenix Rising.
All right. Let's see this.
And so Phoenix Rising, this is the game board or the actual box.
Yeah,
right?
Looks good.
So with Phoenix Rising, the game itself is about collecting stars, right?
Okay.
So the world is occupied by a bunch of gods that actually stole all the stars from the heavens.
Okay.
Okay. And so what we're going to do is repopulate those stars by building paper lanterns.
Nice.
Well, each of us are in control of these magical phoenixes. And if we can get our phoenix to actually touch the paper lantern, right?
Right.
It will turn into a star and actually populate the heavens.
Nice.
With the stars. So there's collections going on in here where you're collecting the different lanterns and actually building your stars. Now, the tiles themselves are the basic Tsuro tiles, and the movement is the exact same as Tsuro.
Okay.
However, these tiles are going to be double-sided. Right?
All right.
And you're going to manipulate those tiles to actually get in front of those lanterns and collect the lanterns.
That's cool.
That's the first one to build a constellation of 7 stars will win the game.
Nice.
Right? Super fun.
Yeah, it's super cool. And Tsuro is super popular, so
yeah,
I love that.
And we expect this game to fall right in line with the rest of them.
And this will also be first quarter?
This will be second quarter.
Okay.
Right? Second quarter.
So like
next
Gen
year.
Con?
Yep,
Okay.
right around Gen Con. Actually, I would really look forward to seeing this at Gen Con.
At Gen Con? Very cool.
So
there you have it, everybody. Ray from Calliope brought us all the cool stuff. You can check out all the cool stuff from Calliope, because I'd like to repeat myself, at CalliopeGames.com. Is that correct?
At CalliopeGames.com. We're also at booth 207 here at PAX.
PAX, if you are here.
Come and get a rubber ducky, play a game, check it out. If you tap me on the shoulder and you actually want to see Tsuro Phoenix Rising and actually test play that with us, those of you who are viewing that actually come and see us, remind me, I'll be happy to do it. Okay?
Very cool. Well,
special invitation. Yep,
Ray, again, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very cool. And on that note, everybody, stay tuned. We'll be back real quick with Renegade Game Studios. And until then, check out all this other cool stuff from Game Trade Media.
All right.